fun to do bad things, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack.
Federal agents allege the outlaws sold drugs, traded firearms, and engaged in insurance fraud and even tampered with government witnesses.
We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack.
The U.S. Attorney characterized today's raids as historic, the largest federal bust on organized criminal gang activity.
Retaliation is common for crimes involving biker gangs. However, it could happen anywhere because of how interconnected gangs have become nationwide.
The 3-year investigation resulted in 42 federal indictments on a variety of charges, including racketeering, money laundering, drugs, gambling, insurance fraud, and extortion.
There's a bunch of bikers up here, and they're shooting guns and stuff. I need the police now.
On foot going towards 2nd Street. Okay, receive.
Then you see a pack of Hells Angels going by, people are going to want to look. Next thing you know, cars, because they're just staring at us and not paying attention to stop traffic.
If you wanted to break the law on an everyday norm, you should have joined the street gang. That's what they're known for. That's what they do. You're not allowed to steal cars on my block. We steal those cars.
I mean, it was so bad by us in Vegas. I was in the pool swimming, and the guys came back, "Hey, Pee-wee, the cops are here. They want to talk to you." I said, "Well, go talk to them. Find out what they want." And they came back, they go, "They want to talk to you."
Typically, if you leave the club, if you haven't been in for 10 years, you're automatically out there.
Got put out in 2006, back in 2007, wound up going into Cannon 2011. Came out of there, I had 4.5 years to walk off with zero support from that club.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today we got updates on this whole situation down in North and South Carolina. It kind of spills over into the border, but we're going to talk about the shooting that happened at the Outlaws Clubhouse and the updates that they have. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's, brother's, sister's friend about Chatting with Stacks, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch this show. We got a lot to talk about. So yesterday, I did a show about the hostile takeover in Australia. Now, the club name was wrong. It was not, I believe I said the Rebels. It was the Gladiators Motorcycle Club. We're going to get into that more down the road, but it was the Gladiators Motorcycle Club is where this transpired. And allegedly, the Hells Angels had a car on fire and smashed it right through their gate. Started stripping people of their patches and making them patch over to be Hells Angels. Insane. Crazy. But we'll get into that story down the road. But again, it wasn't I said it was the Finks. It was not the Finks. I thought it was the Finks, but it was not. It was the Gladiators Motorcycle Club. And I guess they're the oldest motorcycle club in Australia. I did not know that. Jimmy, how are you? Travis, what's going on? Path Killer, what's good? Good afternoon to everybody. I appreciate you guys. So today, we're talking about the Outlaws Clubhouse that was shot up during their party. I believe it was on the 8th. So there's new developments in this whole situation. And I'm going to bring them to you now. And something that I found was kind of weird, right? Is I've been doing a lot of research, and the fire department confirms that 2 people were killed that night, not just one. People are saying, an outlaw was killed. Rest in peace to Menace, I believe his name was, or his nickname. He was killed, but there was another person that was shot, and I believe he was killed. The fire department confirms that the second shooting suspect had passed away, and that was 7 weeks ago. And they confirmed it. Hardwire, what's going on? Paul, what's good? So this all transpired. The recent turn of events is court documents revealed that the SUV that was used in the shooting has been seized. Court documents reveal the SUV used in the deadly shooting at the Outlaws Clubhouse, Lenoir, North Carolina. New documents reveal why police and SBI agents went to the Pagans Motorcycle Clubhouse in Lenoir, I believe in Lenoir, in connection with a homicide at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton in June. 2 SWAT teams were deployed during the search. It sounded like a war zone, said Jimmy Pittman, who lives nearby. Neighbors said they woke to sounds of explosions when the raid happened around 4 a.m. on June 30th. News released court documents revealed that weeks earlier, a GMC Yukon left the Pagans Motorcycle Clubhouse and was used during a shooting and a murder at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton on June 8th. And they have the SUV now. The SUV was covered at a home in Goose Creek, South Carolina. And now it's back in Catawba County. Investigators first broke the case, came in the night of the homicide on a 911 call when someone in the background was heard describing the vehicle like the Yukon. Investigators identified the Yukon from surveillance video near the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. Well, that's pretty odd because, the police were right across the street watching this whole situation happen. So, great detective work. They were sitting right across the street when all this transpired. Investigators identified it through the surveillance video. This information led to the raid at the Pagans Clubhouse in Lenoir. Get along, Pittman said. If you can't get along, go somewhere else, he said. Other cameras in the area spotted 2 vehicles prior to the deadly shooting, linked back to members of the Pagans in Lenoir, court documents said. Pastor Rocky Dola, his church is across the street from the Pagans Clubhouse, and he said they never really had problems with any of the members. Give them the word of God, he said. Pay for the families, do whatever they can to be a light to the community. Members of the Pagans have made it clear that they do not want to talk to the news because they've been pressuring them to make a comment or talk to them, and they said, hell no, we ain't talking. Law enforcement was at the clubhouse for 4 hours that day, and it says they seized 3 handguns, a cell phone, DVR surveillance equipment. But there's a list of all the stuff that they seized. And on this list, it does not say 3 handguns. It says live ammunition, 1 handgun magazine, DVR surveillance equipment, 2 cell phones, a tablet, a Pagan jean vest, 1 9mm handgun, and 1 .357 revolver. That's 2 guns. So where is this 3rd gun coming from? Kinda doesn't make sense. How are they saying in this article that they seized 3 guns? Because it says right there they got 1 handgun magazine. And then down on the bottom, it says 1 9mm and then 1 357. That's not 3 handguns. That's 2 handguns. So the math ain't mathing. You know, with their great detective work, they were sitting right across the street when all this transpired. They watched the whole thing. They probably have it on video. I wouldn't be surprised if they do have it on video. Mountain Woman, how are you? Travis, shout out to you, man. TCG, what's going on? Yeah, this is a pretty crazy situation. So when the raids happen, it says SWAT teams raid the Pagans clubhouse tied to the deadly shooting involving the Outlaws. SWAT teams conducted early morning raids on Monday morning at the Pagans motorcycle clubhouse in Catawba County in connection with the deadly shooting at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton on June 8th, where one was killed and one was hurt. They say that, but I'm going to show you. Now, this is coming directly from the fire department. This is the Airedale Firewire. Boom. Confirmed. Second shooting patient has passed away. Right there. So if they're confirming it, but they're not reporting on it, why would that be? They probably did instigate the whole thing. That's what the cops do. I mean, look what happened over at Waco. They're the ones that instigated the whole thing. Everyone that was killed in that situation was killed from police guns. And then they arrest everybody that was there. Tell me that's not a pretty overreach. Hey, that's possible, Jimmy. They could have possibly planted that other handgun because it's not on the list of stuff that they seized from the clubhouse. I have the list right here, but they're saying that it was 3 handguns, but they only list 2 on the paperwork. So why is that? It makes no sense unless that's the case, unless all of a sudden they pop out with this handgun. Who knows? I mean, I could speculate for days on what transpired, but the cops really know what happened. They were there. They were there that night. I mean, they could have been shooting, right? You never know. But allegedly, this is the SUV that was involved. And we all heard the tape of the dispatcher. I believe it was a dispatcher that was saying, oh, she's the one that speculated that it was them. I don't think anyone else speculated until they did. They're the ones that put the name out there and said, oh, it's possibly associated with them. No one else said that. Let me see if I could find it. I do have the tape, but I have them all in one, so, but I'm going to play it for you. There's a new video out. Let me see if I could find it. Here, I'll just play the video for you guys. And the new newscast is in this video, so let's check it out.
On a shooting that happened in Newton. This happened at a motorcycle club early Sunday morning. Motorcycle club shooting that our Kaylin Hagwood is right now in the process of covering. She is out there gathering elements, including an interview with the police chief. She spoke to the police chief just moments ago. We're going to play this for you in its entirety right now here on WCNC Plus.
As far as investigation.
Now, this is right when it happened. This is like the next day.
Revealing there was some sort of gathering at the motorcycle club.
He acts like he don't know what the gathering was about. They were parked right across the street. There was some kind of gathering over at the motorcycle clubhouse. They were parked right across the street. They know exactly what the gathering was about. It was the anniversary of them being in that town. I believe it was the 25th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken.
Early Sunday morning, around 2:09-ish. Gunshots
Hey, behind enemy lines. What's up?
We're still trying to figure out, who shot first, how shots were fired. Gunshots were fired. 2 individuals got struck. 1 did succumb to the gunshot wounds. The other one is currently in the hospital in Charlotte.
Now, do you think this all unfolded within the club, or do you think there were shooters outside and inside?
As far as we can tell, right now is both inside and outside shots were fired, or should I say inside the premises of the club, not maybe inside the building, but on the rooftop and in the yard, yes.
See, he gives a lot of information away here. On the rooftop, there were probably cops on the rooftop. They were definitely across the street because they were keeping an eye on things. That's what they do. When motorcycle clubs have events and things, there's always cops nearby. They're always watching them, especially if there's an event or a funeral or something. They want to know every face that goes around. They want to know who is who.
And do you think these were all people from the same club shooting at each other?
That's a good question for now. The investigation so far, we're trying.
What kind of question is that? Do you think they're in the same club shooting at each other? Why would they do that? Why would they be in the same club shooting at each other? Obviously, they weren't.
To figure out motive and who all was involved.
So you think that it is at least possible that it could be someone was shooting at the individuals at this
Possibility, yes, but that's part of the investigation that we have going on to figure it out.
Okay. And so we also don't have confirmation then, or you can't share right now if it was a possibility of another motorcycle club.
Well, the dispatcher is the one who put that information out there. I got it right here. The dispatcher is the one. So they could be the reason to set all this in motion about, it was the other club. Who knows? It could have been the cops that did this.
$1605 North Main Avenue, 1605 North Main Avenue. It's going to be Outlaws, shots fired, per county, at least 1 person hit.
10-4 on 18. 40 right. 15th at East Lane. Do you know if there's shots still going on?
I don't have that information at this time. County called that in and said he's got EMS en route. I'm on the phone with someone now who's saying a gray Suburban just took off from that area moment.
It's in a gray Suburban. That looks kind of like brownish, don't it? I mean, I guess it could be gray.
Before, try to get more information.
10-4. 13's coming out 23. 14's coming 23.
And they released this awful quick, don't you think? Like this whole radio transmission, they released it pretty quick to try to name someone who's involved. And why is that?
Her person on scene, CPR is in progress. 2 victims, 1 to the throat, 1 to the arm.
What?
Sierra 11 FAHP Newton, special attention to comments surrounding reference officer safety. Attempt to locate a suspect vehicle from a shooting incident that occurred at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. Suspect vehicle is a gray or silver Chevrolet Suburban. Last seen traveling northbound on NC Highway 16 Business in Newton. Unknown number of occupants, but several shots were fired with injuries sustained. Use extreme caution if interacting with the vehicle matching this description. possibly conducted by rival motorcycle gang club, the Pagans.
And you want to know something that really doesn't make sense? Is that the fire department is the one that did this. They're the ones that put the overlay of the Pagans logo on here and the Outlaws. So why would they do that? Why would they do that? Unless they want you to think they want your direction to go there. They're the ones that put the Outlaws logo and the Pagans logo. And this was same day as the shooting, 8 a.m. The shooting happened early in the morning, around, says 2 a.m. By 8 a.m., they released this audio with these over it. So something's not right here. Unless they want people to think a certain thing. What's your thoughts on this situation? Why would they release this audio so fast? Put it all over their Facebook. I mean, they said the shooting happened at 2 a.m., right? And they released it more than once. Here's another one that they released. Right here. And this is on the 8th. So the incident they assisted this afternoon did not involve a suspect from the outlaw shooting. Instead, it was a separate incident involving a barricaded patient suffering from schizophrenic issues. But then they released this on the 8th in the morning. This is at around 8 o'clock they released this. Authorities responded to a drive-by shooting at the Outlaws Clubhouse late last night, shortly after 2 a.m. Preliminary radio traffic indicates that the Pagans, rival motorcycle club, may be involved. Now, that was their speculation. But why would they post this right after? It's very suspicious that they would post this and put the logos from the other club on there right after it happened. Like they have no clue on who did it. But by 8 in the morning, they have that radio transmission and they post it all over the internet. Something ain't adding up here. I'm trying to get you guys to...
We'll come out and we'll look at it, and if it's something we can use, obviously we'll utilize it, but we just ask for any assistance.
Getting any cooperation from the Outlaws over this?
Cooperation,
hey Ken,
I won't
what's
say
up?
Cooperation, we're still trying to...
TNT, Slow Ride, what's good? Shout out to everyone that takes the time to watch this show. Hardwire, what's going on, man? Cops definitely trying to stir up a war. Happens all the time. Right after video went viral about them beating up a black guy in a bar. Could have been retaliation for that from someone. Who knows?
Interview people.
But you haven't spoken with any of the Outlaws? Or?
I personally have not.
Meantime, tonight we are learning new details about a separate, though unrelated shooting at Catawba County Motorcycle Club. It happened early Sunday morning in Newton, leaving one man dead and another fighting for his life. Tonight.
So they're saying that another man was fighting for his life, right? But on their Facebook page, it says right here. Let me see if I can get it for you guys. It says right here that he passed away. Right here. confirmed. Second shooting patient has passed away. And that's right under this. And this is coming from the fire department. So it's something's not adding up here. It says right here, second shooting patient has passed away. Confirmed, second shooting patient has passed away. It could be a federal undercover agent like in the 70s. Don't be quick to have it figured out. Back in the 70s, federal agent undercover did the crimes and even burned up one of their rival clubhouses, only to turn state's evidence and never be found again. He did have his own pinky blown off by a drive-by, but when he and his fellow bikers were shot at and they were exiting the interstate in Statesville, the other fellow he was with was a real-life Rambo recon man for the feds during Vietnam. The boots that many club members have walked in would be hard to be filled by the folks reared today. Many club members sacrificed their lives with hands on service to this country, not some remote-controlled drone. Prayers for a speedy recovery, healing, peace to all involved. I think there's a lot that people are not saying. But why would the fire department say confirmed, second shooting patient has passed away? But that wasn't on the news. So why would they say that? The math ain't mathin'. Yeah, that's the fire department. TNT says the ATF in Texas has done this in the past. Look what they did at Waco. Yeah, they do that type of stuff all the time and trying to make it seem like it's someone else so that they stir up the hornet's nest to try to get other people in trouble with the situation. 100%. It happens all the time. Let's get back to this video.
Authorities tell us there were multiple shooters. WCNC.
Hardwire says someone in the fire department could have an axe to grind with one of the clubs or both. I believe it. Stacks get an interview with one of those outlaws. Hey, if you're out there and you're watching and you want to come on the show, just let me know. It's really hard to get an active person to come on. I've spoken to a bunch of them that were there. They don't want to come on.
Charlotte's Kaylin Hagwood spoke with the chief of police today as this latest violent incident is leaving that community shaken again.
We're told that victim is in stable condition after police say more than 30 shots were fired at the Outlaw Motorcycle Club, with some of those shots possibly coming from the roof of the building.
We are doing everything that we can to make sure that we keep our community safe.
It's been all hands on deck in Newton after police say multiple shooters killed a man and left another fighting for his life at the Outlaw Motorcycle Club.
We're trying to figure out motive and who all was involved.
You could still see bullet holes in the
See, they're saying he's fighting for his life, but the fire department says he passed away. So what is it? Obviously, someone here is not telling the truth.
fencing outside the club in Newton Monday.
It's over 30 shell casings that we have so far.
The State Bureau of Investigations, ATF, and even the Catawba County Sheriff's Office are helping in the investigation. The large response partially due to the possibility of gang activity, according to the Sheriff's Office, with the Department of Justice describing the Outlaws as a highly structured criminal organization with locations around the world. The chief says they're considering all possibilities.
We're investigating to try to get our facts before we make any kind of suggestions or rumors that any other rival clubs are involved in it.
Right now, they're working to review surveillance video and interview potential.
Did you guys hear what he just said? He's the reason why the rival clubs rumors are out there, because of his fire department.
Describing the Outlaws as a highly structured criminal organization with locations around the world. The chief says they're considering all possibilities.
We're investigating to try to get our facts before we make any kind of suggestions or rumors that any other rival clubs are involved in it.
So if he's making that statement, right? He's making that statement. Why would they put this on their Facebook page why would they put this with the Pagans logo on it? Because they're full of shit. That's exactly what they want you to think. They want you to think another club is involved. 100%. Something ain't right here.
Right now, they're working to review surveillance video and interview potential witnesses.
Shattered glass filling the parking lot of a notorious biker club building. This morning, the State Bureau of Investigation executed some search warrants at the Pagan Clubhouse along Highway 321. Channel 9's Dave Faraday is live for us there now. And Dave, the investigators told you this is connected to a shooting involving a rival club just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Erica, a spokesperson with the SBI told us earlier today that the search conducted here in Lenoir was in connection to that deadly shooting at the Outlaws Clubhouse, which is down in Newton. If you look behind you, you can see the Pagan.
Because someone in the fire department posted that they did. So the shooting allegedly happened at 2 a.m. By 8 a.m, they release radio transmissions with either the fire department or the police department. They put the Outlaws logo and the Pagans logo on it, and they release it to the public. Why would they do that? If this is a closed investigation, why would the fire department release evidence like that? Because something ain't adding up. Something's not adding up here.
Pagan's Clubhouse. It sits right along Highway 321. I spoke with several neighbors in this area. They describe hearing 2 loud explosions and then SWAT moving in. The SBI says 2 SWAT teams in Lenoir went to the Pagan Clubhouse around 4 a.m. In daylight, we could see the shattered glass and damage to 2 doors. Betty Pittman lives a block away and woke to the sound of the raid.
Me and my husband and the grandbabies, it scared them to death. They didn't know what was going on.
The SBI says it executed a search warrant here as part of the investigation into this shooting 3 weeks ago at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. 2 people were shot and 1 man died. This is the 911 call made that morning.
Just need medical attention. Gunshot. Okay, where's you shot at? There's multiple.
A short time later, a dispatch.
Could be, right? I seen some firemen in 1% clubs. Maybe that could be. Could be. Maybe one of these firemen is in a club. Maybe they're trying to stir up trouble. Who knows? But something definitely ain't adding up here. Because if this was like a closed investigation, they wouldn't be releasing anything like that. Now, they released audio with the club's logo on it. And she only said a club name 1 time. She said possibly. She wasn't positive that it was in reference to that club.
Named the Pagans as possibly being involved in the shooting at the Outlaws. The FBI says it executed a search warrant here as part of the investigation into this shooting 3 weeks ago at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. 2 people were shot and 1 man died. This is the 911 call made that morning.
Using medical attention. Gunshot. Okay, where's shot at? There's multiple.
A short time later.
Now, that's a whole different call than that fire call. So,
one call made that morning.
Using medical attention. Gunshot. Okay, where's shot at? There's multiple.
A short time later, a dispatcher named the Pagans as possibly being involved in the shooting at the Outlaws in Newton.
A dispatcher. Now, the dispatcher is the one that named them. You didn't hear anybody on a 911 call to name them. So I'm finding this a little funny. Anytime you join a club, especially an outlaw club, I don't think you should be allowed to be a part of any other organization, including police, fire department, any of that person. I feel the same way. Because they're like, I don't think police officers or anything should be able to join clubs. Even them law enforcement clubs. They want to play biker on the weekend and then arrest people during the week. It's bullshit. All they're doing is cosplay. They might as well go to biker conventions or some shit.
25 miles away, Pete Walser can see the Pagan Clubhouse from his front yard in Lenoir and supports police efforts here.
I think it's good. They need to kind of move out of here and let the neighborhood be peaceful again.
So far, no one has been charged in connection with the deadly shooting in Newton. But SBI agents say Anthony Card was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon at the Pagan Clubhouse this morning.
But they did drop all them charges at the preliminary hearing. So he's not charged with any of that. They dropped every charge against him.
This neighbor, who asked we not show his face, hopes the group finds a new home.
I'd like to see him gone because it's just a bad element. It's all hours of the night, all hours of the weekend.
And I did try.
Do you hear that? But the pastor said there's never been a problem over there. And then you got this other guy saying it's all hours of the night, all hours of the weekend. But the pastor said they never had a problem with them. So
repeatedly to talk with members of the Pagans earlier today. They had no interest in talking with us about what happened here this morning. The SBI told me that they were out here for more than 3 hours investigating. Reporting live from Lenoir, I'm Dave Verity, Channel 9.
The guy who said he wants him gone is probably the one that called the cops. Probably.
Witness News.
Dave, thank you. We have more details now as the Department of Justice considers the Pagans as one of their big 4 motorcycle gangs. They consider them to be highly structured criminal groups, saying that their members engage in violent crime and weapons and drug trafficking. The DOJ reports there are about 300 active motorcycle gangs in the U.S., ranging in size from 5 members to some chapters that have hundreds of members.
You're definitely right, Ken. Some of the safest neighborhoods are the ones with clubhouses. Clubs don't allow crime in the neighborhood. 100%.
The Outlaws, also part of the Big 4. Back in 2010, when the ATF raided their clubhouse in Newton, Dave was invited to take this look inside. You saw that video there showing the damage, including a large hole there where law enforcement blasted their way inside. Members of the Outlaws told Dave at that time that anything that had their name on it was taken.
And new court documents are shedding light into this police raid at a notorious motorcycle club. Documents reveal law enforcement went to the Pagan Clubhouse in connection with a murder at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton in June. Channel 9.
Look, that's the roof, right? Allegedly, where they were shooting on the roof. Damn, looks like their cops need to do a little more training, huh? Holy shit.
Dave Verity joins us live from Lenoir. And Dave, you found out 2 SWAT teams were used during that search.
Yeah, that's what we're finding out, Dinesh. And I also got a chance to talk with neighbors, probably about a half a dozen of them in this area of Lenoir. They described hearing the sounds of explosions coming from the Pagan Clubhouse. You can see it right there on Highway 321 in Lenoir. We also got this search warrant revealing more information about why police and the SBI came here. You can see the damage to the front doors of the Pagan Clubhouse in Lenoir. Viewers shared this video of the huge police presence along Highway 321 as SWAT and SBI agents arrived around 4 a.m. on June 30th. Now these court documents say there's probable cause to believe weeks earlier this GMC Yukon left from the Pagan Motorcycle Clubhouse and was used during the shooting and murder at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton on June 8th. Court documents say the vehicle was recovered at a home 4 hours away in Goose Creek, South Carolina, and is now back in Catawba County. Investigators' first break in the case came the night of the murder on the 911 call when someone in the background is heard describing a vehicle similar to the Yukon. The search warrant says when investigators canvassed the area near the Outlaws Clubhouse, surveillance video identified the Yukon. Court documents say other cameras in the area spotted 2 other vehicles prior to the deadly shooting linked back to members of the Pagans.
How come they didn't take those vehicles then? They just took that Yukon. It makes no sense. Okay, they said that there's 2 other vehicles involved, but they don't seize them, and they don't tell you what ones they are. They just say, oh yeah, 2 other vehicles were involved. But they didn't take them during the raid or anything. That was a girl, man. That was a girl, Chris. That was a chick, man. They must have put a cheeseburger up there.
And these are live pictures of the clubhouse here along Highway 321. I'm pulling back out right now. On the outside of the building, we could see huge police presence.
Documents reveal law enforcement went to the Pagan Clubhouse in connection with a murder at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton in June. Channel 9's Dave Verity joins us live from Lenoir. And Dave, you found out 2 SWAT teams were used during that motorcycle club. Documents reveal law enforcement went to the Pagan Clubhouse in connection with a murder at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton in June.
They put a cheeseburger up there. That's how they got her up there. Hatchet.
June. Channel 9's Dave Verity joins us live from Lenoir. And Dave, you found out 2 SWAT teams were used during that search.
Yeah, that's what we're finding out, Dinesh. And I also got a chance to talk with neighbors, probably about a half a dozen of them in this area of Lenoir. They described hearing the sounds of explosions coming from the Pagan Clubhouse. You can see it right there on Highway 321 in Lenoir. We also got this search warrant revealing more information about why police and the SBI came here. You can see the damage to the front doors of the Pagan Clubhouse in Lenoir. Viewers shared this video of the huge police presence along Highway 321 as SWAT and SBI agents arrived around 4 a.m. on June 30th. Now these court documents say there's probable cause to believe weeks earlier this GMC Yukon left from the Pagan Motorcycle Clubhouse and was used during the shooting and murder at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton on June 8th. Court documents say the vehicle was recovered at a home 4 hours away in Goose Creek, South Carolina, and is now back in Catawba.
And okay, right? If the SUV is confiscated at a home, they don't have the people that live at the home. They didn't take them into custody. They didn't search the house. They just confiscated the car, the truck, and that was it. The math ain't mathing on this whole investigation.
Catawba County. Investigators' first break in the case came the night of the murder on the 911 call when someone in the background is heard describing a vehicle similar to the Yukon. The search warrant says when investigators canvassed the area near the...
Look, Deputy Dipshit. Oh, I think that's 2 chicks up there, huh?
The Outlaws Clubhouse, surveillance video identified the Yukon. Court documents say other cameras in the area spotted 2 other vehicles prior to the deadly shooting linked back to members of the Pagans.
Okay, 2 other vehicles linked back to the members of the Pagans, but they don't confiscate those vehicles. They just let them keep riding around. Something ain't math. The math ain't mathin'. Story sounds made up. 100%.
And these are live pictures of the clubhouse here along Highway 321. I'm pulling back out right now. On the outside of the building, we could see some surveillance cameras in those court documents. It mentions that surveillance video and that being part of the reason why investigators came here during that raid.
Goose Creek, South Carolina is one of the best cities in South Carolina. Majority of residents owning their homes. Worst place to shoot someone. Who knows? Maybe that's why they found the vehicle there. Who knows?
In late June.
213.
But I find it kind of odd that the fire department puts the Outlaws logo and the Pagans logo on this audio at 8 in the morning, the day after. Well, it was the same day. Allegedly, this happened at 2 a.m. So by 8 in the morning, they put these logos on this audio and post it on their Facebook page. Something really ain't adding up here.
1605 North Main Avenue, 1605 North Main Avenue. It's going to be Outlaws, shots fired, per county, at least one person hit.
10-4 on 18. On the road. 40 right. 15th at East Lane. Do you know if there's shots still going on?
I don't have that information at this time. County called that in and said he's got EMS en route. I'm on the phone with someone now who's saying a gray Suburban just took off from that area moments before. Trying to get more information.
10-4. 13 coming 23. 14 coming 23.
Heard, person on scene, CPR's in progress. 2 victims, one to the throat, one to the arm.
What?
Sierra 11 FA HP Newton, special attention to comments surrounding reference officer safety. Attempt to locate a suspect vehicle from a shooting incident that occurred at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. Suspect vehicle is a gray or silver Chevrolet Suburban.
Yeah, you said the Yukon's extended warranty must have ran out. 100%. Matter of fact, the chick on the roof looks like a Secret Service agent. Probably. It's probably the one that dropped her donut when Trump was getting shot on stage. Remember that one? The one that dropped her gun on the stage? She was fumbling around. That shit was hilarious. I'm sorry. Yup, this disgruntled fireman set this up. Could be. Listen, I don't see the reason why they would release this audio and put their logos on the audio the next morning. Like, why would they do that?
Last seen traveling northbound on NC Highway 16 Business in Newton. Unknown number of occupants, but several shots were fired with injuries sustained. Use extreme caution if interacting with the vehicle matching this description. Possibly conducted by rival motorcycle gang club, the Pagan.
She went to say gang.
30 Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Station clear. Caution if interacting with the vehicle matching this description. Possibly conducted by rival motorcycle gang club, the Pagan. 30 Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Station clear.
Eaton Fire Agent 2 staged in an area for a gunshot wound, 1605 North Main Avenue. 1605 North Main Avenue, staged in the area, gunshot wound to the abdomen.
So you hear that, gunshot wound to the abdomen. The other person said there was a gunshot wound to the throat and then the arm. So, and then on their Facebook page, it says the second person that was shot confirmed the patient has passed away. Now that's coming from the fire department. So there's all kinds of conflicting reports coming out that the person was shot in the arm, then the throat, and now the stomach, the abdomen.
To station an area for a gunshot wound, 1605 North Main Avenue. 1605 North Main Avenue, station area, gunshot wound to the abdomen. Patient's possibly not breathing. Yeah, 210.
Newton Engine 2, Medic 3, believe it's going to be a cardiac. Still staging area, we got Newton PD en route to it.
Figure Fire 19 Engine 2, Medic 3, scene is secure. Give me 2 gunshot wounds, one to the arm, one to the chest or throat area.
I don't know. When we get more information, I will bring it to you guys. And again, yesterday when I was talking about the Finks, I was wrong. It was the Gladiators Motorcycle Club in Australia. There was a hostile takeover. The Hells Angels busted through the front gate with a car on fire, started beating people and stripping their patches off, and basically told them, "You're with us now." We're going to talk more about that case probably tomorrow. I appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch this show. There's a lot more content on the way. Don't forget, check out Patreon. There's a lot of content over there I cannot play on YouTube. It's too graphic. And you're definitely going to enjoy that. The police are scandalous. 100% they are. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. The weekend's coming up. I got a lot of great content for you guys. Ex-Bandito is on the way. Jeremy, shout out to Jeremy. I interviewed him again. You guys are going to like that interview. And then shout out to the lighter side of true crime. This guy interviews all kinds of serial killers, and there's clips of some of the people he's talked to. You guys are going to like that one. Join the membership if you want to see the videos first. I don't have that. What is Patreon? Patreon's it's like a streaming platform where they don't censor you as much. So I can really post what I want there and not be great stuff. Stacks keep kicking ass. 100%. I ain't ever going to stop. I'm just getting started. But I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, you already know what to do. Start your own fucking podcast. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.